Oh my god. What the fuck? What did I just walk in on?
Smash! Oh, smash!
Hello everybody, this is the Reckless Rhino. Today I'm doing a different type of video than I'm used to. I'm going to be going through my adventure and my first thoughts of the game Baldur's Gate 3 now that it's fully released. Why listen to me? Well, not only have I been playing video games for, well, my whole life, I'm also an avid Dungeons & Dragons enjoyer, which is the tabletop game that Baldur's Gate 3 is based off of. Oh, and I graduated college with a degree in game development and creative writing. I'm just trying to have proof of credibility here, but if you're a game company, please hire me. Anyways, sit back, grab your favorite pair of metal Dungeons & Dragons dice that you overpaid for, and enjoy the video. So far, I have a total of 6 hours out of many more I will end up putting into this game, but let me tell you, a lot has happened in these first 6 hours. I was kidnapped by octopus boys, infected with a little wormy, escaped without dying somehow. Oh, that's how. Met some buddies, killed my captor, found a settlement, fought a lot, and I mean a lot, of goblins, and then had my game crash. But let's take you back where it all started though. Character customization. Here you can choose to select a pre-made character or make a character of your own. Any option here will do a great job at integrating you into the story. I decided to make myself in the game because, well, that's a totally reasonable thing to do on your first playthrough. As a matter of fact, I think I remember hearing somewhere that the CEO of Larian Studios, the developing studio behind Baldur's Gate 3, even said that it's recommended not to pick up a pre-made character on your first playthrough. This is probably because he wants the player to immerse themselves in a world as a character they create and they build up through the story. Anyways, about me, of the 11 playable races and 12 playable classes, I chose literally the most boring combination you could imagine. A human fighter. I can already see you in the comments saying, wow, how creative, Ryan. But let me explain. I'm playing as me, and if I were in a fantasy world like this, I would want to start off as a fighter and then dabble in being a necromancy wizard. I also want to point out how cool it is how much the game helps explain mechanics to players who have maybe never played Dungeons & Dragons before. Oh, that's cool, you can inspect things. Like, to go further into like what this stuff means, like armor class and attack rolls. I already know this stuff because I play D&D, but that is very good for newcomers. Now, I tried to make it look as much like me as possible, but there were actually not as many face type options as I thought there'd be. However, there are options in other things that I'll probably never use, so that's cool. Also, I couldn't figure out how to have different colored beard hair and head hair color, so that was unfortunate. My beard is definitely not purple though. But besides some minor things, the character customization was very satisfying to use and create my dream character with. Me. Also, I needed to make some kind of guardian, so I made a hot tiefling babe. Okay, so we've got our character. Now, where the fuck are we? Right, we're on a magical flying cephalopod that's wreaking havoc below. Cool. Nah, but the opening cutscene honestly slaps so hard. It sets the tone for the game while giving players a grand presentation of the world. After coming to, and our first few combats, we meet two characters we could have played as, and then painfully make our way off the ship. Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark. Here's where you go around and find the other characters you could have played as, and befriend them. Now, I'm a silly goober and didn't look around enough to find them all, so I'm just hoping I can go back later and snatch them up. As we continue, I help ward off some goblins and enter a village of tieflings that are being pushed out by druids for some reason. Probably racism, to be honest. I also acquired an inspiration point for role-playing well. Since I picked up the entertainer for my character's background, and I entertained a child with a magic trick, I got inspiration point that I can use to reroll a skill check that I failed. I think that's really cool how it was incorporated. Honestly, inspiration points when I've played D&D in real life are the one thing that everybody has forgotten about. I don't know if that's just in my experience though. I also probably got pickpocketed while trading with the child, but we deal.
You turn to leave, you realize the other child does too. She looks nervous.
Speaking of which, I saved a different child, probably from death, who stole from some druids just by, well, talking to them. I've thought about fighting, but I don't think that would have worked at this point. What level is she? 5? Okay, yeah, attacking would not have been the move. The leader druid that wanted to see me for some reason, I don't understand why, besides moving the quest forward, told me to tell the tiefling leader to hit the road, but I've got bigger fish to fry. I talked to a druid doctor who might be able to get this infectious creature out me brain, and she told me 2 things that I will never forget and hold very dear to me. She told me to go save a better doctor and kill myself if things go south, to which I agreed to both.
This is a vial of wyvern poison.
Oh, okay.
Swear to me, you'll swallow it if you feel any symptoms.
Sure. Apparently the Dr. Druid dude was captured by some goblins, so slay goblins I must. While I'm killing goblins, I actually wanted to point out how fun combat is. The more combat I'm in, the more I yearn for the next encounter. I might just make a group of murder hobos next playthrough. This specifically combat loop is enticing every time because of the situations combats are conjoined with, as well as the different enemies, terrains, attacks, and strategies that can be accounted for. Aside from combat, I find the writing in this game to be pretty damn good, and that paired with stunning visuals are to be expected from Larian Studios. One thing I have a small gripe with are some of the animations. They just kind of look jarring and awkward sometimes. Rather that be a long pause on a character after their response animation is over during a conversation, or slightly goofy facial expressions at times. This is just a very small thing. It's definitely not enough to unimmerse you from the experience, in my opinion at least. In my 6 hours of playtime, I've only lost and had to reload my save after 1 combat. Okay, I was in way over my head. And I should mention I'm on the normal difficulty. Now, this is the combat I was going to try again, but my game crashed just before I could. Overall though, I'm loving the game so far, and I might even update you on my adventure in another video. I feel like I've hardly scratched the surface of this game in just 1 video anyways, so another might be coming. But I want to know what your thoughts on the game are so far. Let me know what your starting class and race are if you play, or if you went with a pre-made character. Anyways, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.